Okay, take 25 or so. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for the support on the last video we posted, the Swan Zoo deck that we posted yesterday. The gameplay, as for some reason, I guess the YouTube algorithm picked it up and it's sitting at 116 views, which is by far the best performing video we've had on the channel so far. So thank you guys. This video here is going to be a deck list in response to, correct me please if I'm saying this wrong, Purell 7640 left a comment asking for the deck list, so I just figured I'd build off the momentum of yesterday's video and give you guys a deck list. If you guys find anything of value here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, guys, so here is the deck list. Keep in mind that I'm only collector level 1600, as you see up top right here. Oh, whoops, did not mean to do that. But let's go ahead and get into the cards and talk about why I chose these cards. Ant-Man is my highest rarity card. I use him a lot. With these zoo based decks, you are going to get a lot of bodies out, so you're going to more likely than not gonna have at least 1 or 2 locations full. So Ant-Man in there becomes a 1/5 plus whatever other boost from the location or other cards that we have in the deck. It's insane. You get insane value out of Ant-Man. Iceman, no pun intended, or all pun intended, I'm not sure which. Iciest card in the game by far. This is my favorite card art, variants, whatever. This card is gas. And that one, can't talk right now. That +1 cost to a card in your opponent's hand can be very, very useful, and it's extremely underrated, at least where I'm at. I'm not seeing too many Icemen, whatever. I'm not seeing this card too much, and I don't understand why. He can disrupt the whole play style in and of itself. Like, if you add a +1 cost to a card that your opponent needs, can disrupt everything. I can throw everything off. Nightcrawler, standard. Just like the utility of kind of moving him where I would need him. If I placed him leftmost, left location, and I can win right location by having another body there, boom, there you go. Squirrel Girl, she puts 3 bodies on the board, herself and 2 other squirrels. Insane card. I like her a lot. Having the extra bodies, you could definitely fill up locations pretty damn easily, and that helps out Dazzler as well. Kind of like an Ant-Man in a way, where she gets +2 power for each location that's full on your side. In my experience, I'm gonna have at least 1 or 2 locations full, so she becomes a 2/6. Again, can grow even more with the other cards we have in the deck. Armor, I was seeing a lot of Killmongers in my climb, so this was to protect my 1 cost cards. Well, okay, those words tripped me up, but armor is to protect whatever you want to protect. Also, it helps you against certain locations that might destroy your cards that you don't necessarily want destroyed. Armor definitely helps a lot. Great utility card. Cheap cost at 2. 3 is not the worst, and for me it's actually pretty good, so there you go. Captain America, pretty standard in my decks. Other cards get +1 power. In a zoo deck where you have 3 other bodies in that location, everyone get +3 to that location, and then you add like Ant-Man or Dazzler in that same location. Like, come on, like, more likely than not you're gonna win at least that 1 spot. Black Swan, the MVP of the deck. I like seeing her early, whether it's my first 2 draws or whatever, because it gives me a little bit of patience, right? I felt like when I first started playing this game, I was too quick to churn out my cards if I can. Like, just because you can play a card doesn't mean you should, and I should have known that from like my Yu-Gi-Oh days. But Black Swan allows you to kind of be patient, take a step back, see what your opponent's doing, get a gist of what they're playing, and then kind of just spam out your one cost cards as needed, optimal, pretty much, right? So Black Swan, MVP. Gladiator, as soon as I got this card, I needed him in my deck. 3/8 can get way more powerful with the other cards we have in the deck, plus locations. Destroys at some points can destroy critical cards that your opponent might need. So that's damn good. And also there is the off chance that you're gonna bring out a card your opponent that benefits your opponent a lot, but that's the risk you take for a 3/8. He's a monster. Definitely a staple going forward. I just got him not too long ago and I had to throw him in my deck. Kazar, for any deck that's running one cost cards, I think Kazar is a staple. Just give them all +1. You copy that. You pair that. You pair that with Blue Marvel, gets +1 to every single card on your board, and of course Onslaught, which boosts all ongoing. Usually at a location, I'll have Kazar, Blue Marvel, and Onslaught for 7, 14 plus Blue Marvel gives 2 to these two. I'm sorry, 4, 7, 14, so at least 18 if my math is correct. If I'm wrong, I'm stupid, and I apologize. Math was not my subject in school. But anyway, Onslaught definitely has utility with those, and also with Dazzler, Ant-Man, and also Captain America. So that has come up in games where like that was the better play for me. So this is the deck that carried me from like level, I think 20 all the way up to infinity, and it's my first time reaching infinity, so I'm kind of hyped. I know it might not be like the biggest like thing to you guys. I don't know how like crazy Marvel Snap players, I don't know how much of an achievement infinity is. I don't know, but Duel Links King of Games is actually a pretty cool achievement, at least in my opinion. So that's the equivalent. That's the reference point I have: King of Games and Duel Links Infinity, and Marvel Snap. But this wasn't the first iteration of the deck. It definitely got upgraded as time went on. My collector level went up, and I started to get better cards. So I wanted to show you guys, just in case you're at a lower level and you don't have all these cards just yet. There might be some free-to-play options for you guys. Taking a step down, like the version I used before that one was this one, Hulk Zoo. As you can see, there's some minor changes. You have Hawkeye, which I love Hawkeye, man. Turn it to a 1/4 if you just play something there. He synergizes well a lot. A turn that I like to do was go Hawkeye and then Angela wherever he was at, to easily have 6 at that location. I have Elektra here. I was seeing a lot of sunspots, and getting rid of a sunspot for the opponent can be detrimental to them, especially late game when they're like counting on that sunspot to like gain all that energy, gain all that power. So Elektra is definitely was definitely needed at the time. Nightcrawler, just utility. Rocket Raccoon, as my IQ for the game went up, I was more able to gauge where my opponent was going to play based on their strategy, based on their cards, based on location, types, whatever. So Rocket Raccoon being a 1/4 off rip was pretty damn cool. Squirrel Girl, standard, we talked about her last deck. Angela synergizes well with Nightcrawler. Standard play, you play Angela. She gets +1 power for each card play there. Angela, you play Nightcrawler, she becomes 2/3. You get to move Nightcrawler. Now you have an extra spot to play in Nightcrawler's place wherever you decide to go there. Bishop is not my favorite card. I just for the cost for 3, I think he should be a little bit higher like power. He just didn't really get that powerful, at least in my experience. So like now that I know a little bit more about Marvel Snap and how to go about playing, I would not probably run him in this deck. Definitely Captain America is a little bit better. American Chavez is now a 1/2 if you want to run her. I'm not sure what are some like really like cards that you get early on. Quicksilver. Yondu was a staple early on for me. I love Yondu, especially like when you get a location where I forgot what it's called. You guys can let me know down below, where like on reveal effects happen twice. It's like what's it called? It's the Wong, I think it's the place where Wong chose at, whatever. But yeah, I would not put Bishop. I would look for a replacement, but if that's what you have, that's what you have. Work with it. It worked for me at the time, but as I got better cards, like I would definitely put Gladiator over him 100%. But yeah, it worked for me at the time. And but if that's all you have, that's all you have. Work with what you got. Work with what you got. Of course, Captain America, I spoke about him before. Kazar, Blue Marvel, and instead of Onslaught in this build, I had Hulk. He can win you a location by himself. As a 6'12", you play him right, you can win games just by him alone, right? Now, the first iteration of the deck was this one. Now, I'll link it down below, or I'll show it on the screen or whatever. But I literally looked up what's the best starting deck in Marvel Snap, and then it popped up with only Series 1 cards. So of course, Ant-Man, staple of my deck's board. A kind of deck control where you add a rock to your opponent's deck. So like instead of drawing something that they would need or that would help them, they just draw like a simple rock 1-0. So you kind of disrupt their plays. Nightcrawler staple, Squirrel Girl staple, Angela was a staple early on for me. Synergized well with Nightcrawler. Forge and Mr. Sinister. I love this play. I love this play. Turn 4, you go Forge. He adds +2 power to the next card you play. You play Mr. Sinister, becomes a 2/4. He plays a clone, that's a 2/4 also. Cool play. Wolfsbane, +2 power for each other card you have here. Again, a zoo-based deck, you're gonna have a lot of bodies on that on board. I prefer Dazzler over Wolfsbane, but I know a lot of people probably have Wolfsbane early on in the game. She's a great replacement user, man. I like this early iteration, and you know, sometimes she would win on location, you know, just because she was like a, you know, kind of a curveball, you know, at a location. So different, like Wolfsbane. Again, Captain America, Kazar, Blue Marvel, and of course Onslaught. So that was my Swan Zoo deck list that carried me all the way to infinity. If you guys found any sort of value in this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Get us back in that algorithm, because it definitely picked up that last video. I appreciate all the support, and I hope to see you guys soon, man. Have a blessed day. Be safe. Take care. Thank you so much.